And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mechfinder, a universe of mech and magic here on the Lost Caravan RPG, where we do one-shots, we do mini-campaigns, we do long-running campaigns. If it's TTRPGs, we pretty much do it all. I am so happy to be back in the GM chair. I kicked out Hoop for the evening. He's somewhere, never to be found again. Or until the next time we hit go live, who knows. But I am your GM for the evening. My name is James Beck. I am one of the lead writers for Mechfinder. It has been a wonderful process and journey since the last time we have been here on the Lost Caravan to kind of show off some of the cool stuff that the universe has. I'm joined by these four amazing players who decided, you know what, we're going to deal with this for an evening. So we don't have any real big announcements. So besides, if you want to be on stream, you can obviously find all the socials in the Discord down below. You might see some art that is on your screen that is in a slideshow. Those are all official art that is going to go into the book. I was very lucky to have some great artists to give me permission to do all that and, kind of show off a little bit ahead of time. Unfortunately, not all of the new art is in there, like all the cool core mechs that all had their art shown during the last playtest. So go on to eldritchosirisgames.com to go find all that and potentially get a pre-order to get all your playtest stuff early. All these people got access to the core rulebook, which came with all of the rules. But all of them are outdated as of 20 minutes ago when I started making changes. But that is neither here nor there. Let us go around the table and introduce who we're playing tonight. Sorry, who you are, who you're playing tonight, and then we're going to hop into the story. If this is the first time you've ever heard of Mechfinder or the universe of Averun, Arvaxium, that's the universe, not Averun's the planet we're going to be on. Perfect. This is a great introductory, not only into Pathfinder 2nd Edition, but also into the Mechfinder universe. So we're going to start with Turk. Go ahead. I know... Listen, boo, you're gonna do amazing. Go ahead and introduce yourself and who you're playing tonight.
Very well. Hello, everyone. I am Turk, or Turk Accented, should the mood take you, and I will be playing the one and only Supavu Bata. He's a Tengu of the Dromar heritage, and he's a cleric of Shellan, which means he's the best fucking bird in the world. Galaxy, even. His bird is not just the word, it's the verse, the song, it's the whole damn opera.
It's gonna be a fun evening for me. All right, next up is Cass playing a returning character.
That's right, James. I'm fucking back.
Lord help us all.
You can't escape me. Hi, guys. My name is Cass. Better known as Yoda or Yoda Almighty. And tonight I am playing Doreen. You know her, you love her. She's going to snipe James from orbit. It's going to be great. And I'm your gunslinger for this evening.
This is going to be an interesting game.
I'm going to crack you. It's going to be fun.
The mental wall has been rebuilt, fortified, and you're not getting another fucking James breaking down gif that could be used against me again.
Except I got backup. Turk's here.
Listen, this is an amazing cast. I'm excited for all of us. All right, next up is Karish.
Hi, I'm Karish, also known as Shiloh. I'm also playing a returning character who also played with Doreen. I'm Yarnball, and I'm a witch. Something to do with runes. I think they said it was inscribable or something. And I have a familiar named Mr. Ball. He sometimes says words that he shouldn't be saying.
Mr. Ball, well, when we get into a seed, I'll be more than happy to pull the shovel voice back out. and be Mr. Ball. And first time, I believe, joining me. I don't think we've ever been in a game. Steven, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I don't think we have. So yeah, I am Steven. I will be playing not a returning character, Kingsmake Envoy 5th Edition Investigative Unit, or Kevin, our anti-magic investigator.
I love it. Well, players, we find ourselves on the planet of Arun, one of the closest planets to an adjacent one to which was called Lorcus. One day, Lorcus fell due to a fiendish invasion, thus kicking off all of the events of the last 50 years of mech development. But where other planets may have decided to continue updating their technology, letting go of some of their traditions, Arun said differently. In fact, they have decided to embrace tradition, but also to embrace the modernity of mechs, right, recognizing them as a threat as kaiju became more and more prolific, as threats in the universe grew. Arun said, all right, we're able to integrate with society, have mechs, have spaceships, but they have to look like they used to. I don't have a lot of time to go into the deep history of Arun and all the reasons why. In my headcanon, it is the way it is. But just kind of know this is your typical fantasy land that happens to have some roaming mechs around. These mechs typically look like knights in shining armor. A lot of your like typical fantasy-esque classes, so to say. And this is where we find our 4 players. You are all standing outside of a town known as Ire Grand. I will put that into chat just so we all have it. But this town is a little smaller than some of the like bigger kingdoms that some of you may or may not grew up in or known about. They have some basic anti-kaiju defenses. Anti-kaiju weaponry also doubles as anti-mech weaponry. It's basically my excuse to go, hey, siege weapons, but big. And, well, unfortunately, last night, they were attacked. Right now, all of you are not in your mechs. You are not synced into your mechs. You are standing outside along a border perimeter, right outside the gates, where a dwarven, what appears to be a younger being like 100 years old, side of younger for dwarves, a dwarven ranger that you guys known as Ysir. He goes by the Kaiju Hunter, for he is the one that typically has to go out, make sure that the kaiju are relatively staying away. But unfortunately, something went wrong last night, and that is where we find ourselves. So as he approaches all of you, you all hear, well, I don't know what else to put it like, but essentially, this flying, menacing creature just breezes past all my traps. Never seen anything like it before. And looks at each of you and goes, is this it?
Oh, I assure you, we're more than enough.
Hi there.
Hi. Anyways, I'm more equipped for land kaiju, if that makes sense. Things that really have a flying speed's a little harder for me to track, especially in the night. But I don't know, something went wrong. Our weaponry was useless against it. I have to petition the local monarchs to see if we can get some more funding to protect ourselves.
Well, in the meantime, is there anything else we should know that it flies? It is genuinely dangerous.
Well, I spent my morning tracking it and points out into a thick jungle. This is the Tangleberry jungle. Now, it's filled with all sorts of critters, but most importantly, a few years ago, it was dumped with okay, you got a question. Yes.
I do.
Yeah, I don't know your name.
Oh, I'm Yarnball, and this is Mr. Ball.
Mr. Ball, who's a floating little drone above you, is going, "Yeah, I'm Mr. Ball."
Yeah, I had a question. Why are the berries all tangled? Like, do we need to untangle them? Is that okay for them to be tangled?
I think just a bunch of gnomes just was like, this should be the name. I think it might have been a family name, and they were like, this is our jungle now, and so just named Tangleberry Jungle.
Can we eat the berries?
I would not recommend.
Okay.
I would not recommend
I'm just
eating
full
the
of
berries.
stuffing.
I see that.
Yeah. Because Yarnball, I guess I should describe her a little bit. She's a little poppet, a stuffed poppet, kind of all stitched together. Her clothing does not match at all, and she has a tiny little witch's hat on her head.
Love it. Just to give you guys a little bit of perspective in terms of relative scale here, these trees shoot up to around 300 to 400 feet tall. Your mechs are all about 45 to 50 feet worth of height. So these trees will still tower over you, making your traversal a little difficult. And this is going to be a big crux for why I was able to put trees into maps. But you see her looks at all of you and goes, you see about 2 or 3 years back, Runic Robotics decided, maybe let's do an experiment where we're going to put in growth serum in a forest. Well, it turns out growth serum plus natural living life that isn't, a normal creature, so to say, causes things to flourish by a lot, including anything that eats and drinks from rivers or the ground. So you might run into what I refer to as little kaiju. Still big, don't get me wrong, would easily tear any one of us apart in a matter of seconds. But you are all hopefully capable mech pilots, can hopefully protect yourselves. So, just warning you now, you're going to go into some dangerous territory. You might be attacked by some kaiju of various varieties. Hope you survive.
Do you also drink the water and flourish?
No, we have actually determined it was really bad to drink in growth serum once it's been diluted by the natural substances of the jungle. It's not like, that water that lets you grow kind of thing. Because if I took it in growth serum right now, I'd grow to I'm what, 5 foot. I'd grow to 150 feet in height. 100 feet in height. So I mean, it's kind of not recommended that people like us consume growth serum.
But then you could fight the kaijus. You could just punch the kaiju.
Yeah, but the thing is, I wouldn't be able to shrink back down. Once I'm that big, I can't go back down to being my height. I would have to.
Then you would be the kaiju.
Kaiju refers to any beast or animal that has been specifically overgrown, so to say. They often have features that resemble animals or beasts, but they're not like, how do I put it? They're not like if I took an growth serum, I would just become a mutated person, like an engrowthed person, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not be a kaiju myself. That it refers specifically to animals and beasts. But that's what I have a mech for, to deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Depending on the classification, some humanoids would be animals, which would then make you a kaiju.
If you're referring to were creatures specifically in this case, those are classified under the beast trait and have the humanoid trait as well.
So, by that measure, wouldn't then, if they drank the growth potion, make them into a kaiju?
I guess that would make you
If it's
into a
animals and
kaiju.
beasts,
Huh. Well, I guess it's a little bit more subjective than I thought. You know, good job calling me out on that one.
So you would be a kaiju.
I would not be a kaiju. I have no bestial traits in me.
Oh, I'm sure we could find some.
Doreen will walk up at that and go, "Not one."
His face turns red. And
Just
he
to be
goes,
clear, Doreen is also a dwarf about his age.
oh my god, Robin, thank you so much for the villain point. Definitely gonna
you,
use
Robin.
that later. As you like approach and you say that, he goes, well, maybe a few, but nothing that would classify me as a kaiju, of course.
Shame.
All right, let's just getting hot. Let's just focus
I
on.
don't feel temperatures. Well, I do fire. I don't like fire.
You're being far too hard on the poor man, everyone.
I'm not being hard on him yet.
Darling,
I don't think I can.
Oh, come on.
let him put out a little bit of information at least. That's what the internet's for.
Yeah, your reception to that might not be the best. You know, we don't have a lot of like great connections to the cyberplane here. I mean, it does well enough that like you can sync to your mechs and be fine, but I'm just gonna say it might be a little harder to parse through to get certain information than you would on like other planets. Us and Convinus are the two that really have that big problem.
More hands.
You gotta roll persuasion if you want to ask Jeeves. He's hard to convince.
At that point, it's a toss-up between diplomacy and intimidation. Like, you like threaten to beat up Jeeves. He might be able to spew out the information.
Just imagine physically assaulting a search engine. Listen here, you little shit. I need the answers now. I'm not here to play games.
Steven, if you want, you can put the Flying Menace under your case, so you can now start to pursue a lead. This is going to give you some bonuses later that might help with some tracking in order to find it. But you do have your first clue, as when he points out, I'm not even going to have you roll perception because your perception's that good. And I'm going to say because you're an investigator, you can clue it immediately. A footprint looks almost like I guess the closest animal you could probably get is like a bird, maybe like an eagle, just by looking how it gripped the like ground. It is definitely multi-limbed, but just judging from like how it grasped the ground before taking off again, you can see that is clearly a big animal or kaiju that you are going to be finding.
Did it attack the town or do anything, or did it simply fly by?
Okay, so from what we understand, it definitely attacked the town. Well, I think it was just more like we're in its way kind of thing. And so if we had to surmise, I don't think it was a deliberate attack. I think it was trying to get something to eat, and then rushed through here, causing damage. And you look, like, he points behind him, like, into this town, and you see that, not behind, in front of him, like, there's still, like, cleanup crews going on right now that are inside, like, trying to repair buildings. You have some wizards and druids, like, kind of, like, helping a magical cleanup get sped up a little bit. It looks like they went clean through last night, so it's like just a direct path, so it's very possible that they flew by through the town, like, with their just, like, claws and talons out. The anti-kaiju weaponry did nothing. They landed, grabbed whatever they were eating, and then flew off.
So to be
The old
clear,
grab
you
and go.
want it dead?
Dead or relocated? I prefer
Mm.
dead. That's just a me thing. I would be known as
You
the
don't have
kaiju
anything against
hunter.
birds, do you?
Tastes great.
Oh, we certainly do.
Okay, hold on. Let me be very clear here. Tengu and Strix and, bird folk.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had them, but, like, animal bird. We're not gonna get into the philosophy of eating creatures right now, but I'm very confused about what's happening. I'm just
Oh,
gonna.
don't worry. We can figure you out very quickly.
Very
But
quickly.
you've given us all we need to know, so I unleash my little dwarven friend on you, and we'll be ready.
Hi.
May the eternal rose bless you and all that.
Well, I'm gonna go mech up. I would suggest y'all do the same. I'm more so just gonna. I'm gonna go in the opposite direction of y'all because I have some other duties. But you are all hopefully relatively skilled.
Very
Good luck.
skilled.
I'm scared of you. And he walks off.
As far as first impressions go, I'm sure that could have been worse.
Oh, it could have been very worse. He could have just stopped talking to us and told us to
I would
go away.
rate our
Nah, he
performance
wasn't
at
gonna
about a
do
six
that.
and a
He's
half out of
interested.
10.
Sorry, Steven, say that again.
I would rate our performance there about a 6.5 out of 10.
Well, that's not bad.
It's not bad. We could do better.
Point being, we got someone dangerous out there that we must be aware of. So, I suppose I won't do to be walking around on foot.
Mm.
Do you think we should try to untangle the berries while we're there?
No,
No.
yarn ball. There's no berries to untangle. I'm sorry.
They'd have to change the name. You know how
Mhm.
relabeling things is so difficult.
I don't, but okay.
Yarn ball, it'd be like untangling all your pieces and then still calling you yarn ball. Exactly.
Would I still be Yarn Ball, or would I be?
Right?
Would I be something else?
If you take all the parts away from you, are you still yarn ball?
There's a logical puzzle about this. I don't think we have the time to untangle that. Just like we don't
Yeah,
have the
no.
time to untangle the berries.
Or my hair. It's very tangled right now.
Hey,
Oh, I
someone
need
pick
to
her up and let's
rebraid
go.
that for you, Yarny.
All right. Well, we're going to do a quick little narrative thing before we get started. Like, actually, like, going into the Tangleberry jungle. We're going to describe what happens when we sync with our mechs. It's a little fun narrative device, but as you all enter your mechs through either teleportation, taking up an elevator, various things, we're going to go around the table. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what happens when you start to sync. So for those who are unaware, synchronization is the process, essentially like Pacific Rim, where it connects a pilot to their mech via a synchronization process that connects the mind, body, and soul into one So for example, Turk,
Yeah.
your character, Supavu?
So Pavu, yes.
Supavu. Okay, I did pronounce it correctly. As you enter your mech, you put on your helmet, and begin your synchronization process. You see a beautiful, like, forest. And as you begin walking around and exploring, you are reciting the tenets of your faith. You essentially ask for a blessing from your deity, who's Shaylin in this case. Permission to sync with your mech, for you had to go through a myriad of various things, but essentially you are a embodiment of your deity, and your mech reflects that. Doreen, your synchronization is definitely personal to you, but essentially it is target practice.
Little duck hunt.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Duck Hunt, but I would say a little bit more like a carnival has like the sliding ducks moving left to right. As you hit each shot as a gunslinger, you get one step closer to your synchronization process. Yarnball has an interesting moment here, as Mr. Ball, as you begin sinking, dissipates completely into thin air. And inside your cockpit, and this is just what, you can forgive me if I'm wrong here, is a yarn mess. Essentially, like if you, for those who might crochet, have like, a bag of yarn that's all tangled together, kind of like that. As you like begin to pull it on your helmet, you hear a voice, not Mr. Ball, but some being reminding you of a deal you made a long time ago in exchange for life, in exchange for becoming a being of this universe.
Yeah, the only thing I would add about her cockpit is, except for buttons and like intricate things, because she doesn't have fingies, it's like a toddler's like shapes. Like there's a red circle and a green triangle. That's how she controls her mech.
Love it.
Yeah, Simon says.
Kevin, yours is an interesting process, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but going off your general theme of being an investigator, yours is actively solving a puzzle and reminding yourself of the clues that you've had along this way. As you begin to like parse through your head of what this creature could be, it is that diligence, that constant thinking that processes and sinks through your mech. And with that, you are all synced and ready to begin traversal. Players, what would you like to do? This is where we're going to enter a little bit more of an open narrative. This is called exploration mode in Pathfinder. And we can begin. What do you guys want to do?
Fancy stuff do I have?
I'm gonna follow the expert.
Hmm.
Stick right behind Kevin and gun up, ready to go.
Yeah, I guess Kevin would probably take the front, just trying to find if this is a bird-like creature. We're looking for either feathers or scales.
Mhm.
Any other broken branches from where it might have landed or perched. Just any sort of searching for a bird.
Okay.
Hunting. That's the word.
Don't worry, words are very
I
hard.
write for a living.
Same. And words, I agree with you. Words are very hard. That being said, you are an investigator, so you actually get some bonuses to not only help you, but help out your allies, where you can clue in later. Um, this is part of your lead, so I'm gonna say make a perception check as you begin searching through the immediate area. Perception is on the left-hand side of your character sheet, just below armor class.
Okay, and I think I have to pursue a lead. So what does that mean? That
If you
doesn't
just
give
click that
me.
on, it'll give you a +1
Okay.
circumstance bonus to your roll and might be able to assist you in finding something.
Okay. Perception. Wait. Sorry, where are the skills? I was trying to
It's
find
not
that.
under a skill, it's one of your senses. So if you just look at the left, like the little green bar on the
Oh,
left, it's right underneath
okay.
your armor class.
Oh, there it is. All right. And then how do I click
Just
on
click
the
it.
pursue a lead?
There's like a little like on-off thing. If you just click that, it'll say on and then just roll. If not, I could always just mentally add it. It's no big
Yeah,
deal.
I hit roll. It didn't roll.
That's
I'm doing
weird.
great for our first roll, guys. Oh, there it is.
Ooh, I don't know why I was on private. Problem. All right. No, it's fine. So you got a 16. Because
There we go.
typically perception checks are secret. Not the problem. 16 in total. I would say with the 16, it starts leading you into deeper of the forest as you begin investigating not the ground, but actually the tree line. Because you realize if it was flying and if it lost a feather, it might actually get caught up in the trees before it actually hit the jungle floor. And you begin to notice a flight path begin as like some trees are disrupted by like some of the branches breaking, and it's clear like a big creature passed through this area.
It appears we are on the right path. Though just how much deeper we have to follow this is yet to be told. But I would ready ourselves for anything. A creature that big moving through here is bound to stir up something.
Mhm.
We can only hope for so much, otherwise we'll spend the entire day walking around.
Okay. As you begin to explore the jungle, following this path, Turk,
Yes.
left or right?
Well, left feels right, so
Left?
that feels right, yes.
Okay. Okay. As you begin your traversal of the forest, by the way, when you guys choose left or right, it does have a narrative impact. You start running into some brambles. These are big vines that have been overgrown due to the growth serum. And I actually need everybody to either make me an acrobatics check or fortitude saving throw to either push through the pain or to manage to tread carefully enough. I will say the acrobatics check is easier than the fortitude saving throw. But we are entering a fun little exploration activity. That is a natural 20.
Don't worry, I won't roll that good all night. It will not happen again.
Okay. Nat 20, a
I got
17,
17.
a 6. All right.
What?
Kevin?
Does
I'm clicking the
Cecil-
dice, but for whatever reason, it doesn't roll.
So weird. Maybe I can help you. Would you like acrobatics or fortitude?
Not a big difference either way. Probably fortitude, because that's at least +5.
Okay. You got a 9.
Is that bad?
That is bad.
Probably not great.
Uh,
Does Mr. Ball have to roll?
Mr. Ball, I'm going to say for the narrative, is not needing to roll. They'll appear in combat.
Okay.
I'm going to say they have like a fly speed, so they're just like kind of
They do.
hovering
They-
above.
They actually do have one, so.
Yeah, even better. So they're ignoring all this. Yeah, we're gonna actually hit our first delay because that's 2-2 to 2-2 in terms of successes versus failures.
Is my natural
No.
20 not?
Natural 20 counts as 2, so that's my bad. That's 3-2. That's just enough. I'm gonna say with some teamwork, you manage to overcome the brambles. It is very difficult. However, I'm gonna say it does slow you down just a little bit. You guys started around, let's say, 10 o'clock in the morning. This is now about 11ish is when you hit this point. All right, Cass, left or right?
Left.
Going
Because
left.
that's right. I thought we discussed this already.
Okay. Well, the next issue you run up against is a rock formation in front of you. This looks like this looks like it might have been connected to a larger earthen pass that something clearly happened here, something big that has caused this rock to appear. If anybody would like to, you could make a society check, or I'm going to say a nature check to determine what exactly you're looking at.
Get that
Nature or
check.
Nat
Natural
1.
Yarn
Kevin,
ball.
is there any skill you would prefer?
That was a 9 for society.
9 for society. Okay. I'm gonna start with Spavu because Nat ones are always funniest. You're not even sure if this is a real rock. Something about your senses are like, this is an illusion. And there's something even better behind it.
He's going to be busy poking at it and just.
It's like strangely solid for an illusion, but you also know like skilled illusionists can turn some of their stuff real for like a duration.
Mm-hmm. Just getting up and like jumping at it and kind of kicking at it while everyone else is looking over. Well, I'm most certain this isn't just a rock. I mean, who leave a rock out in the forest?
It's a rock.
Well, that's what they want you to think.
Sure.
But who wants us to think?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out, isn't it?
The bird.
I don't
wants us to
Yeah.
think
think
it's a
the
rock.
bird is here.
Did the bird drop it and make us think it's a rock?
It's entirely
Uh,
possible.
Yarnball.
No, it's not.
You're the one who rolled high enough for this. This is clearly from a powerful kineticist and a leftover bit of their earthen magic and their earthen channeling. And so roll for perception. Thank you so much for the raid. We're playing some Mechfinder, y'all.
Hi, Raiders. Hello.
Yeah, so you see that this rock side was clearly from a kineticist that is extremely powerful that passed through here. This is about, I would say, the equivalent of 500 feet in like real scale. So it's actually going to require you guys to make some athletics checks or a survival check to get around this, because you see the path continues forward beyond that in terms of like jungle destruction, so to say.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't think it's a pretend rock. I think it's a real rock. Somebody put it there. Somebody super strong. But we do need to go around or over. I guess we could try going under it, but that might take a bit longer. Unless you think you can move this giant rock.
Anyone here strong enough to move a giant 500?
She was looking straight at Sapavu when she was saying that, since he was poking at it already.
I think it's fine to remain here for now. Eventually the magic will fade away, I'm certain. And then you'll all see what fools you are.
And let me just check. I think my strength is 400. I think I can move him.
Oh, really? Wow, I guess we're really making broken characters here in Mechfinder. Strength of 400, a plus 400 modifiers, like, I could move all of the planes in my bare hand. I touch the ground, and the earth explodes.
Well, the Kaiju's dead. So is everyone else.
Listen, we
What
do
were the
have
two
a
skills?
spell called planar nuclear devastation.
No.
We're just not strong
yeah.
enough to deal with that yet.
I think it was athletics and something
Athletics
else.
or survival check. So you can use an athletics check to like climb up this rugged cliff, or you can go around it. We're using sort of a light pseudo chase rules-esque subsystem. So if anything sounds kind of familiar, it's just because I like showing off where I can.
So, should I roll with my +0 or my +1?
Up to you.
I mean, mathematically speaking, +1 is better.
Maybe you nat 20.
Hey!
Let's go. All right, that's 2 successes. We are having a wild night here of ranges of rolls.
Oh no.
He's so certain that's an illusion.
So Pavu, I
And
don't
I'm like
think is
trying
like
to convince him to climb the fucking rock, and so I get distracted.
Right into it. Beak first.
yeah. So Pavu, tell me what happens here. You definitely failed. Like, let's be clear on this. You not only failed, you crit failed. So what happens as you are fully convinced this rock is an illusion, but you see your allies begin to actually start like climbing up it?
Well, clearly there's some way to climb up this thing that without the illusion present. I'll just simply feel about for the handholds, and that will reveal itself. And so he's very carefully feeling at this for some imaginary handholds to just phase through and be able to grab, and he's making very slow progress.
Yeah, I would say like your feathers, because you're still in your mech, but you still feel like the sensation of your mech's hand. Like feel like what feels smooth for some bits, and then immediately like rocky and jagged, and you're like, okay, that's clearly a fake point, and then you begin the process, and it's just like this really slow wax on, wax off sort of movement between the two hands as you begin like. Some of you have made it to the top of this at this point, as they're still at the bottom, like waving their arm around. Who else? Kevin got up, Yarnball got up. Doreen, yeah, I'm gonna say you were the second lowest. You see this happening. And
I just turn around and sit on the rock and start laughing at him.
I just like the idea, like, you could, like, punch a little cave in specifically for you to sit down on as, like, just looking down on him.
Little left there, Pavel. Come on.
Yes, don't rush me. All art takes effort.
This is not art. This is climbing a rock.
Oh, darling, your mind is so small. There's really no excuse with all the computational space you have.
I'm up on top. I win.
Yeah,
Well,
we
that's
win!
up
You
here.
did win, Yarny.
High five, Mr. Ball.
fuck yeah! Just like slams her whole body into your hand.
Point.
Yarnball is very colorful in his language. I'm gonna say this puts a
Mr. Ball.
bigger dent. Sorry, Mr. Ball puts a dent into your time. I'm gonna say it's around 1:00. That's a little cruel. Maybe like 12. I would say this takes us all an hour of climbing to get through. Steven, left or right?
Well, we've fucked up both times we've gone left, so right.
Right it is. We get to look from the right deck. Interesting. Okay.
I may have made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Not a mistake. It's just more of like, this is gonna be fun to figure out how I do this narratively. Because I am drawing from the Pathfinder Chase deck, so I don't know what happens until I pull the card. Just to give myself a little challenge. You begin to travel deeper into the jungle, and at one point, you come upon another rock formation, but this time it is a tunnel. And it looks like, I would say, Kevin, you find this like so quick. The creature that was like that big creature actually passed through here, and you see 4 individual like talon prints, and you do find, I would say, a single feather.
Ooh. Pick that up. Is it indicative of any kind of bird?
This is going to be a fun check for you. This is going to be either a nature or survival.
Nature or nurture? Alright. Survival, do I have the pursue a lead bonus to
You
it?
have pursue a lead because this is your
Yeah.
this is your case.
That was so close to being a 20.
14.
Yep.
I'm going to say with a 14. It is definitely, it's not a bird, like, per se. This is clearly an amalgamation of something that's heavier crossed with a bird. This leads you to think somewhere within the griffin family. Either a griffin itself, a hippogriff, or any variation between, any variation along those lines. It looks just too heavy for, let's say, a rock, which is like a giant bird, or like a giant eagle. Just the patterns would not make sense, especially with only having, with having 4 sets of prints and not just 2. So I would say you were able to ascertain that this is somewhere within a hippogriff to a griffin range. I would not say like specifically that you rolled high enough to like get approximate, but I would say with that you are able to collect that information.
Is this specifically Tony the Griffin? My long lost arch enemy killed my father. Even though I'm a robot and don't technically have a father.
It now is.
No.
We got lore, y'all.
But yeah, Kevin would turn and like share that with the group.
Hey,
So we're
Kevin,
dealing with something.
can I have the feather?
I don't see for what useful purpose it is, but sure.
My mech has a cowboy hat on. I stick it in my cowboy hat.
I would say you hear the sound of scraping as you place it in there, of like the metal meeting with the feather. It's not a particularly like well kept feather. It doesn't look particularly like aesthetically pleasing. It's brown with like a little white V stripe going through, like I would say around the midpoint of the feather.
Mhm.
Besides that, you guys begin to go through the tunnel Does anybody here, I'm going to ask the GM question because players typically yell this before I can say it, not have dark vision? Does anybody not have dark or low light vision?
I have low light.
I have dark vision. I'm
Low light,
also a
dark.
dwarf,
Oh.
so tunnel's kind of my thing.
You're good with tunnels. What
I mean,
does
yeah,
Same, but I
Yarnball?
don't brag about it. That's usually a way to off.
Yarnball has dark vision.
Dark vision. You all have some level of dark vision or low light vision. Perfect.
Yeah.
Kevin's eyes just light up like a flashlight.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna say with that, you are gonna have an easier time getting through this next section as you come across a collapse in. So part of the tunnel as you begin approaching, you notice a large rock fall has happened, and you see like a light coming from above. So like clearly some surface fell into this tunnel. And so you're either going to need to make an athletics check to dig through, get through, or a perception check, or if you have another skill you feel is more appropriate for your character, feel free to ask. But yeah, we're gonna make some skill checks to see how well you can get through a collapsed tunnel.
Acrobatics.
I'd allow acrobatics. (22) 11. No, Kevin, your train did it too.
In my defense, Doreen's dice got in the way of mine on the virtual tabletop, and it stopped me from rolling well.
Boo.
They did bounce. They did bounce.
Supavu.
Did you say we could do perception as well?
I'll allow perception.
If you add Sapavu and I up, we get to Doreen's. So does that count as a success? Like we each get half a success, which equals 1.
I guess that would also count as half a failure, which also equals 1. So it would cancel each other out. No, it doesn't work like that. When I could reverse it. Damn.
This is my first Pathfinder adjacent game, but no, that's not in the rules.
Would my shiny button eyes help?
Ooh, I'll allow
Would
your
I get
shiny
my
button
+1?
eyes to work. Yeah.
Yay.
Look with your shiny button eyes.
10.
You know what? It doesn't.
Look harder.
I need to wipe them off.
Okay. With a 10, I'm gonna say this is enough for you to get over the obstacle, but is going to like increase the amount of time. So we're at 1 o'clock now. As you all leave this tunnel.
All right.
Uh,
Ignore that.
I'm the first up and out, yeah.
Yes, you are the first up and out.
Stealth, please.
Yeah, I'll allow you. You can make a stealth check for me. Shiloh, left or right?
Well, we're saying left feels right, right?
Oh no, we just did a right
Right.
one.
Well, we're doing.
We've done 2 lefts and only 1 right. All right.
Yeah, we'll try left again. I can't do the cool L thing. Lefts and rights are very hard for
Mitten
me.
hands. No thumbs.
No thumbs, it's just thumbs.
Literally, the inside of Yarnball's cockpit looks like a boppet.
It is. It's like a boppet, like this toddler. But it's like, oh, it's the button, blue button.
Blue button, a thing explodes. Okay, actually, I would say Doreen's the first one to notice this. You chose a relatively easier way to get through for this last section.
God.
Oh boy. Don't say that now.
No, I'm gonna say it.
You are in some deep mud. As you exit, you find yourself as you all begin walking. In this path leads you to a river. A lot harder for normal people to traverse through. However, you are in mechs, big mechs, so this is just difficult terrain. But deep enough to the point where we're gonna actually have to make some skill checks to either slog through or find a solid path. And I will actually take us to a visual of what we're looking at here. That's right, y'all. It comes with maps.
Oh, snip
The
snap.
little dots are trees, or what are those?
Those little dots are trees.
Got it.
Wait, I know what this map is.
Oop, doop. There we go. You all see the path, like the river turns and bends at a few places. The immediate thing you hear is a like sound of like animals moving throughout the throughout the jungle. I said forest. This is gonna make this next thing a lot more fun. So thank you, Karish. I'm gonna hold on to this card. As you begin walking through, I'm gonna actually let you guys get all the way up to here if you wanted to, before something will trigger.
Doreen will stay where she is.
How do I move token?
The game is currently paused.
The game is unpaused.
Yeah.
Now it's unpaused.
Now you can move.
Yeah, I guess Kevin would be up front. He's been kind of up front the whole time.
Okay.
Can I make a perception check real quick?
I will allow you to make a perception check.
Allow it. How
'Cause I'm-
gracious.
Because you're not moving, so I'm gonna say the trade-off for actions would be 15.
Only a 15, but
Let's see, what are these things stealth DC? Good enough. They're not gonna get a surprise round on you guys. You see trigger warning for spiders, by the way. Several hundred spiders begin descending from the trees.
Are they uwu spiders?
They're not. They're like owie spiders. And I'm gonna need us all to
Karish, uwu
roll
spiders
some
described.
initiative.
So we're lighting this whole place on fire and leaving, right?
Mm,
That's the plan.
mhm. Are we still in the mud?
You are. So if you are in this blue area, that
Mhm.
is considered difficult terrain.
And that's the whole like
All the blue.
overlooking
So the
thing?
whole
Okay.
thing where it turns, that is all difficult terrain. Just remember that as we begin moving.
Gotcha. And that's like pretty much double movement, right?
That is all double movement. Yep. Man, I am also rolling low. What is going on? Foundry, you're drunk. Go home.
Jared, I just saw like 4 dice at once and I got real scared.
Yeah. It's...
Gonna be honest with you, boys and girls. And
Did say hundreds.
All right, Sapavu.
I don't wanna.
Aw, it's adorable. You think you have a choice. Ooh,
Okay, there it goes.
6. Why did that not take? It's okay. Hold
Yeah, it didn't take mine.
on. What'd you get?
11.
Yeah, it shows you got 11.
And it's just showing a dice for me to roll on mine. What the? Now
I
it
don't
won't
know
let me
what to tell
close the
you.
encounter tracker. Foundry.
But we can
come on.
begin our encounter with
There it goes.
Kevin. You are up. So let
oh
me just
boy.
paint a scene. As these spiders are descending from the trees, like rushing towards you, these are about 25 feet tall. So maybe a little smaller than that. I would say about 10 to 15 feet tall. The equivalent of one giant spider. But there's hundreds of them gathered up and beginning to like descend upon you all as if you were prey. And you see a particular lone spider. This might be like a spider matriarch or some sort of leader of the pack. That just this one is, I would say, about 10 feet, maybe about 5 feet, relative max scale, 5 feet, in the air. So if you're gonna try to hit this thing, you got to get nice up and close and personal. But that does begin. You got 3 actions on your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so well, just so we're not all bunched up like a JV soccer team, just move this way a little bit.
Okay, that's 1 action.
Okay. Movement is an action in and of itself.
Movement is an
Interesting.
action.
Interesting.
And you cannot break your
Gotcha.
movement up. So if you want to move, you got to
Yeah.
do your entire thing.
Gotcha.
The trade-off
Okay.
is you can move 3 times in a turn just by spending all your actions to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so fuck. What does automaton aim do again? Reduce the penalty for firing into your weapon's second range increment. Okay, I don't think I need to do that because they're pretty close,
Not
right?
quite yet. No.
Or okay, so I will spend 1 action to do that.
Okay.
So I'll take that and then take aim at this one over here. And if I did things right, strike that.
Targeted. Go ahead and give me an attack that hits. With a 16. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
Should be damage. Okay, it's not persistent, so it's just 1d8. I don't think I don't add anything to it,
Nope.
right?
You do not
Okay.
add anything. Only Doreen gets to do that. Oh, it has kickback, so actually it would give you at least a +1. That is 8 points of damage. Swarm only takes
Would it be
3 of that.
9? Since it's
No, it's 8
also
+1, and you
+1.
rolled a 7. So 7
Yeah,
plus
but
1,
if
8.
it's +1 from kickback and then +1 from being a magical weapon, or did I? No,
Oh,
the
no.
gunsword
Magic
isn't
weapons.
Never mind.
Magic weapons only give you a plus. So this gave you a +1 to hit. It's striking
Okay.
that adds additional damage dice. You
Oh,
just have
I
a high enough
gotcha.
level for that. No, it's all
Gotcha.
good.
I'm on board now. I got it.
No worries. So that was 1 action. So it was 1 action to move, 1 action to shoot. If you want, you can go ahead and shoot again.
No, because the second action was using automaton aim, so I
aim.
didn't take a penalty to the shot.
Gotcha. Well, you're good then. You skewer a few spiders with that shot. However, it looks like they might have some innate resistance to some physical damage just because there's a whole bunch of them.
What are these things? Shoot fucking Kevlar web out our asses? Goddamn
Just
spiders.
you wait for the webs. That brings us to
I don't want to.
Yarnball. What would you like to do?
I don't know. Something, I'm sure.
Definitely a found opinion to have.
Yeah. I thought it was
Doing
pretty
something
good,
is
so.
preferred.
So we have spiders all around us. I gotta remember what my character can do. All right, I changed that. So I am going to cast a spell, I think. Spells are nice, I think, for witchers to do.
They are really nice
That's
for
destroy
witches.
spiders.
I have a spell called Destroy Spiders. It's
Oh,
so niche,
man.
you probably never heard of it.
Gosh darn. If only I knew that going into the game.
Our word. Fuck you, spiders.
Cat, what are we doing?
James, do we have battle music?
I can put on some battle music. I don't think stream's gonna hear it because I have not been able to get that working, but I can play some. I got hype music with that.
Sure,
Hold on. I'll find something. Just Karish, keep going with your
Yeah.
turn.
You good? No,
You're
yeah.
fine. Yeah, no, it was giving me time to look over spells that I completely, totally knew that I had.
This is typically what I play for when bards are in my group. I hope this is. I
a
know you
specific
all
bard in
can't.
your group.
PJ, if you're watching this, this song that they can't hear is from you. Yeah, in our Mechfinder game, we have essentially a bard that plays only electronic funk,
It's corporate electronic.
corporate electronic funk. Not the
All
point.
right.
What are we doing?
So I'm going to cast Void Warp
Okay.
on the spider that's like right in front of me here. And so it needs to make a fortitude saving throw. Do I click that or do you? I never remember.
I do that. So
Okay.
fortitude. It's only got
I
a
do that.
+5. That is going to
Well-
succeed. So it's going to take half damage from this attack. That's
It takes
2
1.
half to 1.
Take that,
Uh,
you little.
Yeah,
thing.
you let out a void warp, and as like you try to like pull some essence from it, it just does not look that affected from it.
Oh. I realized she would have done something, but I'll do it next turn. It's fine.
Well, you have an action left.
I know. Well, I forgot that she would have probably cast Mystic Armor as soon as she went into her thing, since that's an all-day thing. But that's
I'll
fine.
allow you to do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Otherwise, I'm very squishy.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah, because that's an all-day thing that she just does.
All day,
and
every
I'm-
day.
All day, every day. We're gonna go ahead and cast Shield as well.
Shield is your last action.
Yep.
Brings us to the first swarm. We're gonna use an action to get right up to Doreen. And then can I get in between the two? I cannot. Okay. So Pavu's saved for now. So hold on, let me reset their movement. So they're use one action to get right up to Doreen and start eating away at their mech. I'm gonna put this into chat for you, Doreen. That is a DC 14 basic reflex save to see if you can fend off from these spiders.
+10.
It's a
Let's go.
19, so that's halved. This is gonna be 1d4 piercing damage. So you're gonna take half of 1. So I had 1 damage. And then I'm gonna need you to actually do it again.
Okay, 1 damage and do it again.
Yep, take the 1 damage and do it again. $22, that is a success. You're gonna take half damage again. Hopefully I don't roll another 1. Guess what? I got a 2, which is half to 1. You take 1 additional point of damage. Low level, gang. This is what we get. That is gonna end that spider swarm's turn. This one is gonna actually have to spend some actions to get to where they need, but they're gonna go all the way up here. It's gonna be 2 actions to get right up to you, Kevin, because you're the one who shot at us.
No, boy, I did.
That
You know what? That's fair. I want to be mad, but that's fair. I did shoot them.
So I put it into
Hey,
the little.
actually,
Mhm.
I stealthed at the beginning because I popped out of the hole first.
Yeah,
Did
but
that
when you
affect
rolled
anything?
initiative, you rolled stealth.
Okay.
So I put this into chat. If you just click it, it should say DC 14 basic reflex. It might just say basic reflex save for you. If you click that
Yeah.
and then roll, that is going to determine how well you do as the spiders begin to bite and clomp on you.
So for some reason, it doesn't want to roll when I have it as a pop.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
there's the
put it in
roll.
its separate window, it doesn't like it for some reason.
Yeah.
You can't get it to
That
work
is
either.
a 23, so you're going to take half damage from this. Almost a crit success. This is 3 points of damage, half down to, I believe, 2. So,
I have.
go ahead.
Huh. No, sorry. Like I'm trying to just do it. I select my token. I hit half, and it tells me I need to select a token. Oh, is it because I'm still on?
You might not be on the. Are you on the right layer? There you go.
Yeah, I was on. I was on the selecting targets for attacking.
Gotcha. That'll do it. Well, you take 1 point of damage as the spiders begin to bite onto you. That's going to end their turn, actually, in your square. Doreen, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, normally what I'd like to do is shoot things, but I got spiders on me. That's a problem. So I'm gonna just take a little step back.
Remember, this is difficult
Forgot how
terrain,
much
so
speed.
you got to stride each time.
That's 2 actions.
There's just one action, but just in
Okay.
case they have a reaction.
I'm gonna.
You can get to here. You couldn't
25
move
feet,
20
yeah.
feet, but you can move 15. Because remember, everything is
Yeah, I
like
know.
essentially double.
I want space between me, but I want to still be in range of the little one. The little one intrigues me. I want to go there.
Okay. I would say you have enough movement to get over there.
That's one action. And I'm gonna be irritated with the little ones swarming all over my mech. And then I'm gonna shoot this one. What's my brand new? Can I see it through that tree?
I'm gonna say it has some partial cover.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it with that piercer you just gave me.
I love it. Go ahead.
Robin, I have this because of you. I want you to know it.
29.
Yeah.
That is a critical hit. Even with its protective, it had the protection it has from the tree. That is not enough to beat through the piercer. That is 19 points of damage.
I think and I think I have that one shot, one kill thing, so I get an extra D6. Did that factor it in? No, it didn't.
You do get an extra D6 from one shot, one kill. So that's also doubled. This spider might die before it even sees a round, and it did not live through Doreen's turn.
It sucks.
Man, it had a cool
That
web
call
trap
that
and
one
everything.
the bug zapper, James.
Yeah, dunked on.
Just you wait there. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say before the spider could even act, the piercer is a particularly high-powered mech weapon that can puncture through things because it has the puncture trait. And you see a tree directly, well, the tree in front of it, and about 2 trees behind it now have a solid hole going through it as a sniper round went through it. That is 2 actions, one to stride, one to shoot. You got 1 action left.
I'm gonna reload.
And is that a covered reload or just a normal reload?
It's just a normal reload.
Normal reload it is.
Where is that button?
So Pavu, you don't need to, you just say you reload.
Oh, okay, cool.
I turned off that ranged combat module because nobody else could figure it out but me.
I'm not really built for swarms right now.
So evil, I know. It's okay, they're going to give you a hug in about 1 turn.
Yeah, nah, I'm going to move.
Where are you moving?
That's a good question.
Remember, this is all difficult terrain, so you can't get that far. You can get to the edge of the rock.
Gonna do that because that sounds good. All right, cool. Then I'm going to. No one's really hurt right now, right? Barely, barely, barely. That's good enough for me. All right, I'm gonna needle darts the bitch.
Fucking needle darts. All right, which one's getting needle darted? The spider swarm?
Yeah.
Love it. All right, go ahead and make your spell attack roll. Let's see how you do.
Let's see. 23.
23, that is a success. That is a good hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
All right.
That is 10 points of damage. It only takes 5.
Yeah,
A
makes
bunch
sense.
of needles, like, it spew from your mech, and it managed to hit a good chunk of them, but not enough to do, like, a ton of damage.
Yeah, he whips some of his like his 2 big feathers on wings on his mech. He'll whip some of the feathers towards him, and they'll shoot out.
I
So
love that. That's all 3 of your actions.
yeah.
That is going to bring us to the start of round 2 with Kevin. You are up.
Me. Okay. So, those spiders are real close right now.
They are.
So, like, as he pumps back the one from the last shot, it's going to slide into a handle as the barrel of the gun kind of shifts into the gun form of gun sword. So that takes 1 action. So then we'll devise a stratagem,
Okay.
which I just roll a d20.
Roll a d20.
I can do that. I know how that works.
That's a 9.
Okay, so a 9.
So your next
then
attack is going to be
attack.
a 16.
Yeah. So I'll just roll and it's a 16 no matter what.
Okay. If you're making it against the spider swarm, that hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
So it does. That strategic strike is on, which does an extra 1d6.
We're going to learn something that's really not going to make you happy. Spider swarm only takes
they're
5
also-
damage, as
Yeah.
precision damage is one of its immunities. It would not take
Oh, well,
damage
that's
from
stupid.
strategic strike. Listen, I threw in a different creature so precision damage could work for people, and then I had a
Then Doreen was like,
gunslinger
nah.
crit it
Yeah.
and destroy it before. Like, I did think about this. Hoop and I had a full conversation about like how to make sure that like you wouldn't feel negated with a combat, and like how like you could still do a lot of your stuff. And then no, it gets fucking one shot before it does anything.
I'm
like-
sorry, Steve.
No, this is actually like it's a great lesson like for Kevin too, of like you're trying to gather all the data and you're like, there's just too many of them. There's no point in being strategic. It's just swatting.
I love it.
So I don't feel negated. Plus, I only rolled a 1, so it's not like this
That's
is
fair.
a heartbreak, devastating critical.
You did roll an
ignored.
8 on the slashing damage, so that's
Yeah.
actually gonna overcome some great resistance. I'm gonna say what a great way of turning this around for your character. That is 1, 2, 3 actions. That is gonna end your turn, bringing us to Yarnball. Your shield goes down as you start your turn.
Shield goes down. Cool. I like how they're hiding behind the squishy. It's fine. Because I'm very squishy. But I am going. And also just so as a reminder, Mr. Ball is independent, so he gets 1 action.
His actions are
without
gonna be
command.
moving with you. I'm gonna just we're gonna be real clear here where that's going.
I do also I can have him, not that I can have him deliver spells for me. Touch based spells.
If you want me to go ahead and move him to a swarm,
No, it's
I'll be more than happy to do so.
It's fine. I don't have any touch spells for that, but I do have
Okay.
one for probably later, but just as a heads up. I don't know. That's a 10-foot line, but that I think would probably. Oh, that's so short. 10. That would hit that, right?
What would you
I
hit?
can't
What?
tell.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to hit the spider swarm in front of me, but I think I have to move up.
You have to
hit
move up
them.
one more to hit it.
God. Okay, fine.
What are we casting?
We're gonna cast Scatter Scree. So
Oh,
you evoke. Yeah, let me
it's
stay here.
it's a range of 30 feet. You wouldn't even need to use the action to do that. It's just
Oh,
it
that's
then
right.
creates a 10-foot,
Oh, that's right.
2 5-foot areas, which is good because it's only gonna take damage once, but this is gonna actually teach you a good lesson. As a success, as the spiders begin to move out of the way, go ahead and roll damage, as we're about to learn something very cool about swarms.
Did they not take bludgeoning? Or like resistant to bludgeoning?
So here's the fun part. You did 5 points of damage with that, which is not enough to overcome their physical resistance. That being said, they have weakness to area damage, which Scatter Scree does. So you obliterate the spiders by like breaking the ground under them, and they'll just like begin burrowing and just getting away from everybody else. That is gonna. You still have one action left over.
Yeah. I don't know. The ground is difficult terrain there now.
That is true. Let
I
me put a
guess.
little 10-foot line.
Even though it was already difficult terrain, it's super difficult now.
Sure. Super difficult terrain. New things invented just for Pathfinder. Totally not greater difficult terrain is a real thing. I get it.
I'm on my turn right now.
What would you like
cool.
to do?
I have one more. I'm going to. I don't remember what my speed is, but
You gonna move
I'm
down?
just going to. Yeah, I don't want to be right next to that.
All right.
That'd be great not to be there.
Yarnball's gonna use their one action to move with you.
You mean Mr. Ball?
Mr. Ball.
I'm Yarnball.
Listen, they're both next to
Get
each
a
other.
handle on
It's
your
gonna
balls, James.
I'm trying, okay? It's really hard. That is gonna bring us to the swarm's turn, which probably not gonna survive another round, but we're gonna try to get our licks in. That's one action to move.
Forget one thing. Hold on.
Okay.
I have the shared stratagem, so whenever I hit a creature while using it, they're considered flat-footed for the next person to attack it.
Ooh.
Which would be Doreen. I don't know what that means.
They are off guard.
I don't know what flat-footed is.
So they're going to take a -2 penalty to their AC. Basically, make it really easy for them to get hit. So here's the fun thing. So Pavu and Yarnball are 15 feet away from each other. And this thing is only a 10-foot wide creature. So I got to choose which one of you guys are about to get hit. I'm going to roll a d20. 10 lower, Sapavu, 11 higher. It goes right for Yarnball. So with one stride action, it does not get Mr. Ball, because I'm going to say they're flying. Yarnball gets swarmed again with spiders, completely ignoring Sapavu. I need you to go ahead and give me a basic reflex saving throw. Bum, 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 bum.
I'm assuming it's not versus any of those cool things.
Nope, just a standard one.
Because of my construction.
That is an 18 that succeeds. You're going to take half damage of 1d4, so you might just take 1 damage. And then I need you to do it again for me.
All right.
Success on the second one. This is going to be another 1d4, probably just halve down to 1. 1 halve down to 1. Because 0.5 is not a real number in this game. That is going to end their turn. Bring us to Doreen.
Hi, James.
Hey there.
I'm gonna shoot the swarm.
Go ahead, shoot the swarm. But it teaches something funny about that.
Yeah. I'm thinking about actually maybe not shooting the swarm.
No,
But
you
I'm
should shoot the
afraid.
swarm.
No. See, I'm thinking I should throw my alchemist fire, but I'm afraid if I do that, I'll hit Yarn Ball, who is very flammable.
Yarn ball is very flammable.
Yeah, very flammable.
Well,
but
they're in
it's
the mech.
okay.
Even
I
in the
assume the
mech,
mech
Are
is
in
made
the
out of
mech.
flames.
it's still
But
the way
yeah,
we
since
built
we're not doing
character,
the-
and we're not doing like full Mechfinder rules where like we built the mech up. We're going like as if your ancestry was your mech. That fire weakness transfers over to
Yeah. The mech is absolutely made out of yarn.
yeah.
It has yarn just hanging off of it.
Kevlar yarn, but yarn.
What would you like to do?
I want to kill the bugs, but I have a
Kill the
feeling
bugs.
because it is
Listen,
a swarm
friendly
that
fire
shooting it with a
is
projectile
on.
is
It's
not
fine.
gonna.
Oh, that's not the part
Look.
you have to worry about. Shooting it with a projectile is fine. You can still target it with a ranged weapon.
Yeah, but how much resistance does it have because it is a fucking swarm?
That depends on how much damage you roll.
You could do a recall knowledge check. See.
Ooh, you
What
could make a recall
resistances?
knowledge. It's one action,
I'm
but
gonna
it's in
have
nature
to.
or survival.
Yeah, I think I might have to. Oh,
Okay.
nature and survival are the same. Might as
Well,
well.
I'll let you have your pick. 13. You get one question. What would you like to know?
Is the swarm immune to resistant to singular attacks? Like,
It is
one
not immune to
projectile.
singular attacks. You've seen actually. You recall that Kevin had shot a shot from their gun sword, and it still
Yeah.
impacted it.
True. All right.
You know what? I will give you one resistance. How about that? It has piercing resistance 5. But your gun also has
And
the
it's
concussive trait.
flat-footed. It is flat-footed.
It is off guard, yes.
Yeah.
This thing
Okay.
looks like it's near death, like as is.
Oh, good.
That's a critical hit for 27. Go ahead, roll some damage. That's 28 points of damage. This is where we're gonna have the fun
29,
thing.
right? Because I get
No,
the splash damage from the
it's already
piercing.
factored in.
Oh, okay.
As it explodes, Yarn Ball, it's a Pavu. You're both going to take the 1 splash damage. As the piercer's so strong, it creates the line effect from where it shoots out from, and a bullet scrapes both of your mechs. I need you both take the 1 splash. And that is actually going to end.
Convenient the rest of those spiders just lined up to all take the shot, though.
I'm going to say enough of them die, like, they all, like, scatter out. And there's, like, a giant hole where they...
Sorry. My bad, y'all.
Okay. Well, that was your first encounter with kaijus.
I didn't die immediately.
Didn't die immediately. You guys handled it really well. I'm very proud of all of you. I'm gonna say it takes you a few more hours to continue tracking your this griffin or hippogriff creature, and it begins to put you well into the evening hours, and we're gonna actually take a quick break before we transition over that scene. So we will be back in 5 to 10 minutes, y'all. Don't go nowhere. And yeah, have a good one.
Gonna be on the captions.
It was not picked up on the captions. Hello, everyone. Welcome
Woo!
back
How much?
to the stream. We are joined by these amazing pilots who are currently on the hunt for some kaiju and had run into some smaller insectoid spider kaiju, which was a fun fight. However, it is getting late. I'm going to go ahead and actually pull us over to a different map.
I don't like the name of this map.
Yeah,
Alright.
I saw
called-
that name there,
What?
James.
Sinister,
Sinister
Woodland?
Woodland?
That was just the name of
Okay,
the
but
map
how is-
that I downloaded it from.
How was
This
the map
map
with the
looks
spider
familiar.
webs on it, not where we fought the spiders?
Because I chose the encounter before I chose the maps. But that being said,
Fair.
there is still a thicket of trees
What?
here. It is very late at night, and you see that the forest in of itself is the jungle in of itself is magical, as little like glowing blue purple spheres of light begin dancing around all of you. This is where your trail has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
You said there's like little balls of light kind of dancing around. I'm gonna try to catch one.
As you try to catch one, it doesn't look like as you try to catch it, it like quickly flies from your hands.
Oh.
And every time you do, it just like it keeps moving away.
Yarnball is chasing this. She has been distracted by the shine.
Yarny.
But they're so pretty.
They are pretty. They might bite.
Well, I can't catch it.
Only if you ask nicely.
As they're all chasing the flies, or whatever these light motes are, the little radar on Kevin's mech's back is going to start rotating, and I'll cast Detect Magic just to see if there's anything actually dangerous we should be on the lookout for.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic, and the little sigil stone begins glowing.
Ooh.
You're not high enough level to really ascertain like what properties it has, like what traits it has. But you can make I want to see what skill would be most appropriate for you. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. Where is it?
It is so.
Is
If
this
you open up your
related to my
character sheet,
lead?
it is. This part no is not related to your lead.
Okay.
So if you look at your character sheet, it's like the little open hand. That is
Yeah,
where your
I found it.
proficiencies are. Okay.
It's just listed. I don't know. I just couldn't read for a second there.
No, you're good. 13. Okay. You
took a journey.
notice that the rune itself is where in this art it's like full lit up. A portion of this has been broken off. Looking at it, it looks like some sort of protective ward, like a anti like kaiju-esque, like some sort of creatures of this size can't breach this line. And you understand that this might be a series of stones and runes that are spread about the jungle to stop kaiju from like breaking into the town or like attacking nearby settlements. But this one's broken partially.
I'll look back. So Pavu and Yanval, you two seem more magically adept. And then, yeah, I'll explain. This is some sort of protective rune, though my expertise is more on eliminating magic than recreating it.
Did you just say I was not magically inept? That I wasn't magically inept?
This is me.
No, he says you're saying you and Sapavu are more magically adept than he is.
I missed that Yarnball was part of that. I was like, the witch is not magical? Okay. Yeah, she'll go up and look at it.
Can I make a perception check while they're messing with the runes?
Ooh, yeah. Let me put you guys both up there.
Yeah.
Be overlooking.
Go ahead and make your perception check.
25.
25. You catch something in the air. Something big is moving.
All of light?
It's like a no, like a dark shadow. Like is like
Eyes up.
circling above, like a vulture. Can't make out too many details, but you know it's definitely about 100 feet tall and is just like stalking you as it encircles the area.
Up is it?
100 feet. Oh, how high up? It's probably about another like 100 feet in the air.
What would you like me to roll for this rune?
Can I try and wing it while they're doing something?
What tradition do you cast? Arcane?
That's a great question.
Yes, arcane.
Make a Arcana check or occultism.
Because I have a couple of things. Because I have discern secrets from my patron, whatever. Yeah, my patron. I also have schooled in secrets, so I didn't know if that was like if it was a cult, like a.
I wouldn't say
cult.
this is an occult. I'd say your Arcana with the aid of your spell would lower the DC by a significant portion.
Okay, so I will go ahead and cast discern secrets on myself.
Would this, now that we know it's related to Kaiju, would this count as pursue a lead? Because I could give Yarnball a bonus to that then.
I would say this is close enough to your lead that you could clue them in.
Okay. So yeah, so add a +1 circumstance bonus, I think, right?
Yep, let me throw the effect of clue in on Yarnball. That way you just have it. There you go. You are now
And you said it
clued
was
in.
Arcana.
It is
Okay.
Arcana.
Arcana or occultism or just Arcana?
I would allow either. Occultism is going to have a higher DC.
I'm excellent. We'll try occultism.
Okay.
Discern secrets is on. Hell yeah.
Aha.
28. You ascertain the following information. This is a protective ward against kaiju of about 30 feet tall and bigger. It is a series of wards that are like placed in an area that, like, the bigger the area, obviously, the more runes and wards you would need, but essentially is to protect civilizations from these creatures while also keeping them condensed into like a big enough habitat that they wouldn't really need to explore out further. Looking at the rune, somebody has tampered with it.
Like they've like chiseled part. Like is this
Like a part of it
etched
is
into the
broken off.
stone?
Like somebody like punched the stone, and like you see rock at the bottom where like that punch like would land.
Oh no. She's going to look for anything sticky like sap or anything and try to glue this thing back together.
I'm gonna say you could try that. Doreen, what was your question before we did all this?
I was gonna try and wing the bird.
You're gonna wing it. Go ahead and make an attack
It
roll.
already has 2 wings.
But question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Yarnball explain that somebody broke the
It's up to
rune?
Yarnball.
Not in as many words. She pretty much just said, "Oh no, it got broken,
Oh no.
and she's
the room.
trying
By who?
to.
It's broken.
Yarnball,
It's
how'd it get broken?
broken.
Oh, our room, it's broken.
Yarnball, how'd it get broken?
Well, I couldn't tell you exactly how it got broken.
Did something
Maybe.
hit it, or did someone hit it?
Yes. Probably someone like fist. I can't.
Okay, I'm
make
gonna stop
fists.
looking at the bird, and I'm gonna refrain from shooting it, and I'm gonna start looking around.
Go ahead and make another perception check. This is gonna be
Looking for
interesting.
a new little friend, because that little
Is there a help action, or would I just roll my own perception?
I
Roll
could
your own.
say you can aid another, so make a perception check. Your DC is 15.
I'm gonna do
Okay.
the same.
yes,
Okay.
please, because I rolled the 12, y'all. Oh, thank
Oh, hey,
God!
double
Both of
18s.
you rolled it.
Because we crashed into each other.
Say Sapavu, you and Kevin both can clock this as you're aiding. Something big is encircling above. And you notice, actually, I'm going to reveal this. A spider is beginning to lunge and attack from behind the stone.
Do we stab it? Like, is it lunging and attacking us?
It has not yet, but it looks like this is a hunting spider. And you guys look like some good prey.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's what this lattice work is.
Mm-hmm.
This, by the way, this spider is about 50 feet tall. It is your size.
Ew. Thanks, I hate it.
Oh, don't worry. It's gonna get worse as I begin to describe what it actually, like, the more details you get. Right now, you only see like the edges of its legs beginning to peer over the stone. But I'm gonna say you guys had a high enough perception. You beat out its stealth DC.
Can we, like, fire a warning shot to try and scare it off?
I would like to move over here.
Okay.
I'm not good
you
at
let up-
intimidation, so maybe not.
What are we doing?
We didn't see any
Did I
people.
use diplomacy to get the
No
spider
people.
into parlay?
I don't think diplomacy is really gonna work here.
Yarnball does not notice the spider because she's fixated on trying to fix this rune.
Well, if y'all are gonna do nothing, I'm gonna say it begins its
Yeah.
attack.
Okay.
It is.
I guess I
Mhm.
would have had readied an attack if it comes over the top.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna say you guys, don't. You guys aren't going to be off guard to its attack. It does not have a surprise round.
So roll initiative.
Go ahead and roll initiative.
Let's go.
I don't get clued in still,
Oof.
right?
No.
Turk,
It's a nat
reload your
one.
browser, my friend. That's obnoxious.
Doreen.
Reset
Yarnball.
Orange Jesus.
Okay. Let's begin our encounter. So the hunting spider bends around the stone, and what you guys see is what has the body of a spider. It has like more like an ant head to it. Yep, ant, like the insect. It's got freakishly long limbs, and it is ready to attack as it sees Yarn Ball, and you are right there. It's gonna make its it uses its reaction before combat was rolled to spring upon prey. It is then going to hit you with a Fangs attack. Ooh, actually, wait, hold on. Let's see if we can hit you with a web first. That is a critical hit. You are now encased in it. You are immobilized in a web. And it does a bite attack against you as its second action, which is going to miss. And then it's going to use its last action to do another bite, which also misses. So you are immediately enveloped in its web, and it tries to hit you, but like it can't breach through your it can't breach through your mech's hull. But you do feel it. You do feel it's going for you. You can't move, and you can attempt an escape check on your turn to potentially get out. It's going to end its turn.
Cool.
So this is the mysterious creature. I'm going to unhide it.
Oh.
This hippogriff is going to use its flying strife attack. So it's going to fly all the way to Doreen. Actually, you're both equally away. I'm going to roll.
Oh, yeah.
Some bird on bird action.
Don't worry. It rolled low enough. It's going for Doreen. It uses 2 of its actions to fly down and make a a talon attack at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about Buck. So as part of its movement, it can claw you up. I'm so sorry for that being private. That is a 25 to hit. You are off guard to this attack, by the way. So I
Yep.
believe that's going to hit. You're going to take... Why is it 5 points of slashing damage as it claws against you. That's 2 of its actions. It's gonna fly to over here. It's no longer at 90 feet. It's actually on the ground now. And then take a swipe at Sabavu with its other talon.
How many actions does it get?
3. It has 2 for flying strafe, which is it makes 2 talon strikes. It flies up to its speed and then makes 2 talon strikes. Hold on. Sorry, I get 1 more talon strike against you. Each strike must target a different creature. Fuck. All right, fine. You get out of it. It's okay. I still get to do my other thing. Talon against Sabavu. That hits for 4 points of damage. As it lands and like starts clawing up Sapavu, you all see its like twisted, mangled frame, where its beak is, like underneath those beak are actually razor sharp, like jagged teeth. And as it does its attack, its actually beak splits into 4 and then envelops and then pulls onto you. It's gonna end its turn. That brings us to Kevin. Kevin, you were actually devising a stratagem on that. You have your lead on that hippogriff. Just letting you know.
Yeah. So that means I can devise a stratagem against it as a
free action.
Free action. Okay.
That is correct.
So I'll do that right now.
Go ahead and roll your
That's
d20.
a free action.
14.
Oh,
okay, that means your
so close.
Next attack is either 21 or 22, depending if it's a ranged or melee.
Okay, so that doesn't count
That's
against
a
the
free
actions
action.
I have,
You get
right?
to do it.
Okay.
That's completely for free because this thing is what you've been hunting the whole time.
Okay. because I want to help Yarnball, but also this thing is fucking us up. Actually, yeah, he would see like the spider encased her and then could not hit, so that is not a threat at this moment. So he will move there. That's one action. I will use. I'll then use the device or the thing I do, the designated strike.
All right, the strategic
From
strike.
Range.
Okay.
That's it.
That's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll damage. So you can just click damage instead of having to do like a whole separate roll.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because you've used your device as stratagem. This thing is not immune to precision damage, so that is taking it for 11 points of damage. No reduction there. Ouch.
And then as a partner, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say like you clip part of its wing. It definitely hurt.
So yeah, I'll clip the wing. So I'll give the shared strike to make it off guard against Doreen's next attack.
Perfect.
And then I have a third action.
You do have a third action. You could use it to recall knowledge. Sorry, you go ahead. I'll let you, and then if you need help, think of a third action. I got you.
That's it. I will, you know what? I know we talked about this in the break that it's not ideal, but I will take a second strike at the spider.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. So that's MAP.
Just help scare that off.
Yeah, so it should be like your
plus 3. So that's the +3. Got it.
Go ahead and make your attack. That's a 19. That's going to hit against the spider, just barely, though. Go ahead and roll some damage. That is 4 points of damage to the spider. Okay, that's going to end your turn as you, boom, let out one, let out another. The hippogriff perfectly setting up everything for you. Brings us to Doreen.
Like a little haywire tactic Rainfinder scattering around the dome of his helmet.
All right, Doreen, your ally has set you up.
This bird made me bleed my own blood. It's gotta die. All right.
That is a 30. That is a critical hit.
This with that extra D6 tacked on from that one shot, one kill.
This thing might not live to see another round.
Somebody call Phil Swift, because that's a lot of damage.
Fuck me. That thing's gone.
Hold on, I got another D6 to roll.
No, it's gone. It's so gone.
Steve, thank you very much. I am so appreciative.
2 kaijus in 2 weeks.
Hey, James.
Gone from the same gun, from the same build. Yeah, I'll let you narrate this. What happens as it clips you, begins going after your ally, another ally like hits it in the wing, so as it begins to fly up, it like quickly descends back down. What is going on?
It clips me, it goes over, and it bops Pavu, and I go, no one shish kebabs a chicken like me, and I just shoot it right through the brain.
Its maw and its head breaks as a piercer round goes through it. Pavu, your mech is covered now in blood as it falls back.
I'll clean it, Pavu. I'm sorry.
No worries, darling.
Well, you have 2 actions left because you just took out the main creature in a shot.
Yeah. I can't get a line of sight on the spider.
Right now it just has a +2 bonus to its AC because of just the way it's lined up.
Okay, I am gonna do a covered reload then. Well, does that mean it won't do anything? Yeah, I'm just gonna do a regular reload.
Okay, regular reload. You have 1 more action.
All right. It's only got a +2.
It's only got a +2.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Go ahead and take your shot.
Unless it'll hurt Yarn Ball with the
It won't
piercer
hurt.
round.
Yarn Ball's the one giving it cover.
Okay.
10, that's
I'm
gonna
not gonna hit.
miss. Your
Yeah.
bullet goes wide. That ends your turn. Yarn Ball. This spider has you completely immobilized in its web. Its ally you hear like a small little shriek from behind you as something just got hit with something very big and loud. What are you doing?
I am going to. I'm going to cast Force Barrage.
Ooh, I love it. One
I'm going to do
small action. I think because you're mobilized. Can't use actions that have the move trait from something.
It doesn't have the move trait. It has
Yeah, I'm just
Arcane,
double-checking.
Concentrate, Force, and Manipulate. So
I'm just seeing if Web Trap specifically calls out stuck to the nearest surface until it escapes. I'm gonna say you still have to do a flat check just to see if you are mobile enough. This is just off
that's
of
just a D20.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say this is not like something holding you down. Sorry, this is something holding you down. It's just like it's enveloped you. It's supposed to be like restricting you. Yeah, 18's fine. Yeah, go ahead and use how many actions for it?
I'm gonna do 2 actions.
Okay.
So
Go ahead and cast.
I do. I was trying to figure out if there's a way for me to do 2 of them, but I guess is there a way for me to roll 2 or do I just
So go ahead and
have to
click
do it twice?
cast into the chat.
Oh, okay.
Then it's like
what I was missing.
roll damage.
I just have to click that twice.
Yeah, click it twice.
Okay. Bloop.
I wish it was slightly more integrated, but unfortunately it's not.
That's
It's 4 damage. That's another 2 damage.
And then with my free action, or my third action, I would like to take some of the webs that is enveloping me and try to keep sticking the runes on with the sticky webbing.
All right, give me an athletics check to see how well you do. We're going to say this is part of your escape.
Oh.
18's high enough. You managed to break out from the webbing.
Oh, I wasn't even trying to break out. She was just trying to literally just.
I know. I'm thinking like as part of your as you're sticking it on, you're just breaking out naturally.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say like a little like shoulder cannon up here, like protrudes from your shoulder. It like fires off 2 barrages before retreating back into your chassis and hits the hunting spider for a whopping 6 damage, which is not a ton, but for an auto hit, very, very good.
Yes, that's nice.
That is gonna end your turn. So Pavu.
I have the temptation to just cast Prestidigitation on myself this turn because I don't know how long anything's actually going to survive.
Well, I kind of got my main guy 1 shot, 1 killed. So, swingy combat.
You know, I am that level of petty. I'm going to Prestidigitation and clean myself off.
It's 2 actions.
I know, but I've got one more. I've got a 1 action thing.
Oh, wait, there's more.
And I'll just heal myself.
Love it.
Nice.
Okay, go ahead and heal yourself as you begin to clean all of that off.
I imagine he's healing as he's wiping it off.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, yes, of course. Oh, that's lovely.
That is going
The
to bring it.
loving font of my lady flows through me.
The kaiju bites into Yarn Ball, That is a success. You're going to take 9 points of damage. And this is where this creature starts to get really interesting. I need you to go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw to go along with it.
What is that against, though?
Poison. Technically
Trying to
venom,
see if
but
it's-
it's the same thing.
Well, I get a +1 because I'm a construct.
Damn right you do.
And that's a fortitude.
That is a fortitude saving
it's-
throw. DC's a little high for this one. Failure by 9.
Yeah.
If you didn't have that +1, it would have been brought
Would have
down
been
to
good, though.
crit fail.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you take 1d10 plus 2 poison damage.
The
So
true
that
boss.
is 7 points of poison damage, and you are off guard for 1 round. You're going to need to make that. Assuming there is another one after this, you're going to need to repeat that saving throw again.
I might not need to make a saving throw.
Oh, don't
I
worry.
might die before then.
It's going to do another attack against you.
Fuck.
That hits for 5 points of damage.
Well, Yarn Ball once again falls unconscious.
No.
Dying 1. There's 1 action left. What's the range increment on web? All right, well, we're going to attempt a web strike. What's the worst that's going to happen against Sapavu? Yeah, it's going to miss. It was banking. Oh, man, by -2. Wow. Sapavu, as Yarn Ball goes down, it spews a web from its mouth and not its, like, rear. Manages to unfortunately miss you. That is going to end its turn. Bring us to Kevin.
Kevin. All right. Well, tactically speaking, Yarn Ball being down makes this thing easier to hit.
Does do that. It is no longer having
But
cover.
So 1 action to move, devise a stratagem. That is 2 times in a row. That was almost a crit. And then it just teeters back to the 8. So from range, that would make it a 16 to hit.
16 is going to miss, unfortunately.
Alright. Well,
So 1 action,
what I
devise a
got.
stratagem. 1 action
And
move,
then
1
the
action
last
shot.
action was to attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
That brings us to Doreen. What are we doing, Doreen?
Shooting it.
Also, Kevin, remind me next turn you have to reload. I forgot I was supposed to have you doing that the whole time, but we're gonna pretend like you have been, just very quietly.
I believe I do have to reload since I shot twice
You did
last
shoot
round.
last time.
So I need to reload, which I do.
You do.
And then I'm gonna take a shot at it.
Okay. Just remember, 1 shot, 1 kill is not on. That's gonna miss. Unfortunately, the spider's just a little too agile. There is a +1 in the chat that you redeemed that we just
I
no one's
did.
used yet, and you missed by 1. And Courtney just
I
redeemed
did.
another +1.
Courtney, you legend. I'm gonna use another one. Yeah.
Okay, so all you needed was just a +1.
Yeah.
So that hits by +0. Go ahead and roll damage with your attack. As you unleash on it. 5 points of damage to the spider. It's still alive. I thought this thing for sure would last, like, way less than this, and the hippogriff would have been the real nightmare. Who knew ant spider thingies would be the antithesis of this game?
I am going to reload as my last action.
Okay.
Spiders are always the true enemy.
You know, I like them, but not when they're eating my friends.
Right.
It hasn't started feasting yet. Sapavu.
Sapavu, me. I'm casting Healer's Blessing
Okay.
on Yarn Ball.
Love it.
And then you already know what time it is.
Y'all
It
ready for this?
is
Heal,
a
heal,
2-action heal.
And that's all we can legally do without getting sued.
Target one.
Go
Make sure
ahead.
this is the right one. Okay.
Heal.
And 11 healing, but also because you do that, you get 2 more.
Yep, it should
For
automatically
13.
be applied.
Didn't look like it was.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, that's weird. It didn't apply. It's okay. I'll just add another +2. Oh, nope. Karish got it. Let me drag the effect of Healer's Blessing on you. There you go. Now it should automatically do this.
As the damage is healed by shooting feathers over there and making your mech much prettier than it already was.
Yeah, you feel like as you like drop, you wake up to like the sight of like feathers raining upon you.
LED feathers.
You see the little cartoon birds flying around your head, but it's a Pavu.
I'm by doing the backstroke and the breaststroke.
Well, Yarnball, you're up.
Well, actually, I'm laying on the ground, but
No, you're right. That's fine. Your turn is up. What are you doing?
What is Mr. Ball doing?
Mr. Ball has been yelling obscenities at this thing the whole time. I would say actually it could get to about over here with its turn.
Cool. Oh no, that wasn't where I was thinking.
Okay,
but
sorry,
that's
you can move it. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Where do you
you're
want
fine. I don't know. I was just wondering if he had passed. I don't remember what familiars do when.
They're still around. It's whether or not you are knocked out. Sorry, whether like it is killed or not is going to determine if it's
Gotcha.
alive.
That whole thing. All right. Who's up next? Hey, Kevin, what are you fighting with?
Gun.
Gun. Is it a +1 weapon?
It is.
Is it +1 striking?
No one has
It
+1
is not.
striking.
Would you like it to be a +1 striking?
I don't know what that means, but James seems
It's
to be
going to
against
give
it,
you
so
an
yes.
additional damage die worth of damage every time you hit a creature.
You want it.
I mean, I won't say no.
It is a straight buff to your. So 1 action to get over there.
Yes. So she's going. Yeah. So what she's going to do is she's going to tap Mr. Ball and be like, "Go give this to Kevin," and like some runes appear on Mr. Ball.
Mr. Ball is just like, fine, I'll fucking do it. Wee! And just, Kevin, you're almost knocked off, like, on your ass as just full slams into your gun.
Boink.
And, like, runes, like, begin to, like, just, like, splash on to the end of your weapon. And just as Mr. Ball, like, flies back, it just, like, it turns its whole body, like, shaking its head almost, like, if it could rub its head, like, it clearly just hit itself with it.
It's the eyeball, like, is going.
You have 1 action left.
I do.
I would recommend standing up.
Yeah.
If not, this thing's gonna get some very easy pot shots on you.
Yeah.
Don't trust him.
I'll stand. I will stand up.
Okay.
And I'm not off guard anymore, right?
Nope, you're just wounded. Oh no, you still are off guard because it had from the poison.
My poison didn't go away.
Oh no, poison.
When I went
Believe it or
down?
not, poison manages to stay in your body well after you aren't knocked unconscious from it.
Rude.
I know. It's so mean. In
That's
fact,
fake, but okay.
that's the spider's turn now. It's going to use an action to skitter past. Make it to Sapavu. It's going to do its attack against you. That is a critical hit.
Oof.
So, Sapavu, that is only 10 points of damage because I rolled a 1. As it bites into you. I'm used to higher level play where 10 damage is like, really? That's it? I need you to make a DC 18 fortitude saving throw for me to see how well you
Another
react to this
+1
poison.
in the chat.
With
If
the
you need it,
+1.
Turk. If you need it.
Oh. Shit, sorry.
If you're having foundry troubles, I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
But I
Where-
can do it.
You can roll it for me real quick. I don't know what's happening with my. I'm gonna reload my page.
I got you. You got a failure, so you're gonna
Could
take.
you roll better?
Nope. 1d10 plus 2 poison damage. That's 4 poison damage, and you are off guard for 1 round. Hey, at least it wasn't a crit fail. All right. If it was a crit fail, then you would be worse for wear. So that's 1, 2 actions, 3 actions is going to be for another bite attack. That's going to hit by 9, so not a crit, but still a hit. For an additional 10 points of damage, you are knocked unconscious. Told you I'd get you. That is going to move your initiative to actually be above the spider. See if your allies are fast enough to get to you. That brings us to Kevin. You now have
Alright,
a
well-
beefed out sword. What's up,
Quick
Karish?
question.
Yeah.
Since my poison was only for 1 round because the
No.
Would that-
Off guard is only for 1 round. When it gets to your turn again, hey Hunt, you got to repeat the saving throw. Thank you for
was a
reminding me. Make a
fortitude?
DC 18 fortitude saving throw.
Fortitude. There it is. What about 19?
19. That is a success. You are no longer poisoned and no longer off guard. Kevin.
All right. First, we're gonna devise a stratagem. Well, I don't know. See what that helps with. All right.
10.
Save that for a second, because first, I'm gonna take a shot at it. Yeah,
So
it's kinda
a
like
shot, I believe, would be. So you devise the stratagem, which is 10 plus, I believe, your range.
Oh no, I was
attack.
saving that.
Oh, you're no. So devise the
I was
stratagem
gonna-
automatically
I was-
happens on your next strike. There's no saving it, unfortunately. It's whatever you do next with your next attack.
Okay, I misread.
If you
that
want, you can
ability
just say
then.
you didn't use the action for it, and I will give you the 22. I would say you could reload using that action.
Oh, I
instead.
gotcha.
So I would say you can move, reload. Oh no, you didn't move. So you just reload, and then you took a shot without devising a stratagem. That hits. So
Sure,
go
that
ahead and
works.
roll, some damage for me.
Okay, so I don't have strategic strike. What do I do to add the striking from runic weapon?
It should Oh wait, hold on. Runic weapon didn't apply to you yet. Hold on. Let me give you runic weapon. There you go. You now have runic weapon.
There we go.
Open up your sheet. There you go. That's 13 points of damage. And this thing is dead as your weapon now supercharged with magical energy. You fire a shot out, and it explodes. I'm going to say that gives you guys just enough time to rush over to Supavu, bring them back up to at least 1 hit point.
Yeah, I'll apply a mech healing kit. Toolkit? I don't know.
It's
I don't
a
know how
healing
you
kit.
heal robots.
I have a healing potion.
With the
so-
sink, healing
Yeah.
potions. Supavu, you are brought back to life with your allies looking over you.
Oh.
I know it was a bird-eating spider, but
No, come on, finish the joke. I'm dying of anticipation.
no, you're not.
Well, you were quite literally dying there for a second.
Yes, you're all very funny. Now, let me pop a thing to fix all this damage.
I wasn't aware we were joking.
No, I was. Sorry, Kevin. I'll make it clearer.
Meanwhile, Yarnball is still trying to fix the rune.
I'm gonna say Yarnball does, with enough time, you can fix the rune to get it to where it's at least activating a lot better. Like it's working a lot better, but like you're gonna need like a fully trained team out here to like repair the rune. The
Yeah,
ranger,
it definitely.
Yasir, might know people or might be able to fix it himself.
Or might be
It
the one.
definitely looks like a
first
macaroni
place.
craft, like with the
Oh,
webbing
whoops.
being the excess glue. Just
I love it.
Don't worry about the webbing. That was us.
I also
Or
realized
did
I
he
had
break it in the first place? That's what I want to know.
Maybe he wanted more jobs. He is kaiju hunter. But yeah, he didn't want to hunt this kaiju, which makes me think he's a very bad kaiju hunter. Also, I just remembered that I have a deck of cards. Would you like to play with them? They have magic.
Perhaps somewhere
Sure.
where there are less corpses?
Nah, I'll pull a card.
I'm gonna guess this is the cantrip deck.
It's a full cantrip deck, yeah.
Full cantrip deck.
Oh boy.
Everyone can gain 8 hit points before this happens.
Thank you.
So there's 24, I think.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Choose a number between 1 and 24.
13.
13. Good number, 13.
7.
I believe that's
13.
guidance. 1, 2,
I
3,
thought it was light.
4,
On my
5,
list, I have it
6,
as light.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Light. You pull out a card, and it immediately begins to start glowing.
Very cool.
Ooh, that was a good one.
What do I do with
She's
it
gonna
now?
hold it. Oh, it's you can. She'll take it and like put it on the forehead of your
Right on the
neck.
cowboy
It's not-
like hat,
Yeah.
like right in the center of it.
Oh.
Would you like one?
Oh.
She offers it to Kevin.
Sure.
Not
You would like
13.
to participate in these humanoid games.
What number
Although I guess
would you
puppet's
like?
also a construct, but
Why is light on there twice?
1 through 24?
Because light got
Yes.
changed in the remaster.
Oh,
Because
Alright,
dancing lights and
let's-
light was all merged into one.
gotcha.
Where do I got a roller? 1d
24, I
24.
guess.
17.
Oh, Jesus. All right, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You pull out a card, and it immediately begins to light up towards you, and you have to quickly turn it away as a quick, like, bolt of fire, like, spews out and hits the ground about 30 feet away from you.
I assume that's one of the bad ones?
I mean,
No.
no, depends on where
You
you're
can aim
aiming
it
it.
at people.
Gladly, it wasn't at me. I don't like fire. Would you like one?
Oh, darling, I've been through enough today.
I'll pick one for you.
Oh, thank you.
What number?
I'm just gonna do a random one.
I'm just gonna link mech arms with Pavu and just like start walking back to town. Come on.
Did you do 18 for yours,
17.
Steve?
I had 17.
So it's Read
So-
Aura.
Let's do 18 so we can just go one down more.
No, I mean 2 more. So I don't know how that looks from the card, but
There's definitely a magical creature, magical thing by you. It's the rune. That's it. Like it's Read Aura. It's
ooh, look, it kind of
Nothing's-
makes it glow even
nothing's
more.
illusory.
Ooh.
around here. And it would have given you a better benefit if you if you couldn't identify the rune earlier. But with
Let's take him back to the rock so we can see that's not an illusion.
No, well, I already used it. I can't use it again.
that rock will forever be a solidified illusion. Are you guys taking any part of the hippogriff or spider as proof
Oh.
that you?
My hat is just got like 3 big feathers sticking out the back of it now.
Feathers.
It
in
is
your
now
hat.
just made of feathers.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like
I've
Kevin
made
probably would
myself
take
a
a talon.
fan for the mech.
Poor Spavu, who came with feathers.
Oh yes, I don't give them
Well, I
away.
can't pluck him.
You could certainly
I was gonna
try.
say, is it unkind to be defeathering another bird in front of him?
Oh no,
Should
it's
we
a
ask if that's
hippogriff.
okay?
It's a wannabe.
I don't know. They were
Right?
flying
Some
pretty good.
humanoids. I'm just saying, sometimes humanoids get a little weird when you start taking parts from things that are kind of like them.
Testy. They get testy.
I'm gonna say you all managed to make it back within the next probably next morning. You're gonna probably need to camp out for the night. It'd just be too much of a journey and a trek on the way back through the jungle with no like great light source. You don't know what kind of creatures are gonna be around.
My hat is lit up.
For only about like 1 minute,
Oh,
So we
that's
get a rest.
so you can get a long rest, and everybody can go back up to maximum hit points. Just because you have divine font,
Yay.
like if you could just divine font plus medicine, bring everybody back up.
Where's the button for that?
They're
I'll find it. You
the top left.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really matter. You make it back to the town through the Tangleberry jungle, and make it to Irongrand, and start looking around for your seer. Takes about 3 minutes for him to find you guys, and he goes, "Sorry about that. I was just tending to some ranger duties. How'd y'all do?"
I
Quite
fixed
well, and
something with spider webs.
I'm
you
confused
did
by
do
what
that.
that means.
Well, it seems somewhere out there in the woods there is a rune meant to protect you from these kaiju that was broken, and Yonball, in her wisdom, repaired it. Spiderwebs were just the closest adhesive property we had.
You said I had wisdom.
I see. So, do you believe somebody tampered with this rune?
Oh yeah, someone
Mhm.
or something definitely punched it.
Unless
I
those
see.
rocks have a habit of just exploding outward.
They do not. I'm gonna have to reapply that rune. Damn it, it's gonna take me all day.
I did it with webs.
The webs, that might be a temporary solution, but that's like putting a band-aid. Like let's make sure we clean out this wound. Let's make sure it's real. Let's make sure there's a healthy rock and a healthy rune.
Who knows about the runes there, you see her?
Everybody.
It wasn't a rock, actually, it was a hippogriff, but I understand the lack of knowledge as you just saw it flying by.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, that room was absolutely destroyed manually, which sucks. But we've cleared the path for you, so you should have a nice, lovely walk out there through spider-infested woods. Thanks for the warning on that bit.
I gave
Yeah,
you a warning ahead of time. I was very clear about what could be in that jungle.
No, well, I
I
must have just been
wouldn't
lost in your
exactly
eyes.
call it clear. Spiders still exist. We didn't kill all of them.
I said you might be fighting, you might come across some lesser kaiju. If you fought something that's about 15 to 20 feet, if you fought something real big, chances are that thing's a kaiju.
I did not fix the berries. I was told not to.
Thank you for not fixing the Tangleberry jungle.
Yeah, I did fix
Doreen's
the rune
gonna
because I wasn't told
lean.
not to.
Doreen's gonna lean into his face.
Just leans back.
Take any frustrations out on some rocks lately?
No, because it's my job to tend to the forest. I'm a
Mhm.
ranger.
Yarn ball. Yarnball's gonna walk up like underneath them since she's small and just like look up at the
Just
tension.
looks down at you and just go in. This is a weird.
Just looking.
This is a weird angle to be in right now.
Is it?
Kevin will come up behind and lean over the both of them to look down at him. Is this how humanoid conversations are supposed to go?
Not at
Yeah,
This
all.
does not
Kevin.
seem quite
yes,
well.
Kevin, ignore the man. You sure you didn't punch a rock? Fuck up.
I'm quite positive.
Mm.
You can make a perception check to see if he's lying.
I would love to do that.
Yarnball's just here for the drama. She doesn't care if he's lying.
Now
Tell me
shut
your
up,
secrets,
secrets
small
too.
man.
Tell me your secrets
For
too. I got a
one,
21. But tell more
extremely
secrets about-
nervous about what is happening right now. Is not sure what the play here exactly is, given Doreen's very upfrontness and then two others that are like weirdly assisting. Is just like, what the fuck is happening here? You get the impression he's not lying. There is something else at play here. That maybe some other adventurers need to investigate into. But yeah, he's not lying. It looks like he deeply cares about the forest. He's a warden of it. Breaking the Kaiju rune would be making his job a lot more difficult to keep the peace.
Processing. Eyes like shifting in and out.
I'm gonna say with that,
I think
like
he's being truthful.
Yeah, you're analyzing like heart rate, eye dilation.
Get your
Doreen
vitals
reaches
up
out
here,
and
buddy.
gooses him. Yeah, Doreen just reaches out and gooses him, pinches him on the ass.
I don't think you need an insight check to know he seriously does not know how to respond to that.
Doreen, that wasn't very nice.
Nah. I do have
That's
a
a
negative one to
no-no.
charisma, so it's a big
That's a no square, Doreen.
I don't
In some
know. Is
places
it a
we call
no-no
that
square?
flirting, but normally you would need consent before touching another person's body.
That's true. Can I pinch you again?
Sure.
You are allowed to say no, Ysir.
I'm too afraid to say anything.
Well, fear is a terrible way to get someone to be into you, Doreen. Best back off for now.
I don't know how much of this I like versus I don't like, but all I know is I'm very confused right now.
We'll control our dwarf, you control your runes. Sound like a deal?
That's a deal for me.
There's a good boy.
Bye now.
He wanders off.
Don't break another rune, and we promise Doreen won't break your ass.
No promises on that one. I'm sorry.
Love it. Well, that is gonna actually about wrap up tonight's game. Eventually Ysir does go back into the forest, repairs the rune. You all begin to hear whispers of rebellion in the town. And maybe another story for another day. And that is where we're going to end tonight's game of Mechfinder, Universe of Mech and Magic. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this amazing adventure. Getting to show off a little bit of what we've been working on in the time between when we launched the Kickstarter versus now. We're gonna go back around once more, introduce ourselves, tell everybody about what projects you guys are working on, where people can find you, all the fun stuff you do for an outro. We're gonna start in reverse order. So Steven, you're up. Yeah.
Me. Aww. So yeah, I'm Steven. You can find me on Twitter. I'm never calling it by the other name, at DJ Stevosaurus. You can find me just around Neon Lights Roleplays, doing a couple things around there. perhaps coming back to Lost Caravan for a secret season 2 of a series we've bullied Hop Hoop into doing. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, that's it. I don't have as much going on as all these other fancy, lovely people.
Well, it was a pleasure having you here. I hope you had fun. Next up is Shiloh.
Hi, I'm Shiloh, better known online as Karish. You'll find me at some point over on the Lost Caravan YouTube with another Mechfinder game. Not as Yarnball, but someone just as slightly dense sometimes, I feel like.
Depends on the
Yarn
moment.
barn.
Depends on the moment. Marrying herself off, maybe. It's fine. It's fine.
We can deal with that later.
Well, it's fine. I was trying to see if I have anything in the near-ish future. Next week I'm going to be in another Pathfinder game on Friday right here. And maybe next Friday I will also be in another game here, Dogs in the Bark. But that might have some conflicting stuff going on, so we'll see if I can make that work. Otherwise, you can follow me over on Twitter. I also run a little account called Eldritch Osiris Games Twitter. So
Those nerds. The
those
people
nerds.
making this game? What the hell?
What? Come watch me as I apparently geek out over Animorphs today on the official.
That was your best
Twitter.
tweet yet, and I'm so proud of you.
That's why I get paid the big bucks. I'm kidding, but yeah. I also got some other stuff in the works. I have a Dungeon World podcast that's coming out sometime this year. And I have another Pathfinder game that will probably be uploaded to YouTube at some point. I don't know. So that's all from me.
Next up is Cass.
It's me. I was your Doreen tonight. And I'm looking at my calendar and realizing I may have a problem, guys. So I am going to be having a light week until Saturday when I kick off my problem week, where Saturday I will be over on Singularity for our Call of Cthulhu campaign, Speakeasy Conspiracy. I just adopted an Eldritch Snake. I can't talk today. An Eldritch Snake baby. It's fine. Don't worry about it. On Sunday, I will be here for the beginning of Wild Week, which is our charity week benefiting Rewild. Playing Decay and Bloom. And then on Monday, I'll be over on Sin's channel playing Queensgate Chronicles. And then I have a day off, and then I'll be back on Wednesday playing Thundermouse, or Heavy Metal Thundermouse with Sam for Rewild Week. And then I'll be over on Live from the Apocalypse on Thursday playing Redacted, which is our buddy JD's psychological horror game. And then Friday is a home game. Saturday is home games, plural. And then Sunday, I will be back on Singularity playing our City of Mist campaign, Fragments of Tomorrow's Apocalypse. My character's in a coma. It's fine. And then I have some time off.
Sounds like you're going to need it after all that.
I'm going to need a nap. Yep.
All right. Turk?
Hi, it's me. I nearly died today. But in the game, I had a great time. No. I'm Turk or Turk Accented on the places on the internet, especially that smoldering pile of refuse known as Twitter. If you want to see more of me and you like the words I say and my face, oh boy, you've got some problems. But we can unpack that later. When this Wednesday comes around, I'll be in the Lancer Recall game. Finally coming back to that. On 29th is the kickoff of Season 3 of Delta Green, in which I am playing a pretty cool New Jersey firefighter. I'm real excited to get back. Agent Maltese has been out of the fight for a bit too long, but we're getting back into it. It's a map made of skin. Fun times. Then, of course, I'm also over on Neon Lights Roleplay, where I GM and run Oathsworn, Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, which is a high fantasy Greek mythology 5e campaign, as well as eventually going to be running the next season of Tears of Divinity, which is the follow-up to Frozen Rain. This will be Freighting Chronicle. Beyond that, of course, I also run Caravan of Cthulhu here. Maybe in the Nova Season 2. Lots of really cool stuff coming up, so just keep it locked to these few channels. Support the people you're seeing here because I bump into them all the time. Anyway, you're all great. Keep being the best you can, or else I will find you. Talk to you later, James.
Can you come find me?
I know where you live.
That's true. My name is James, or I Geek Chase 513 everywhere on the internet. I too will be back playing that Lancer one shot. Finally get to bring Kate back. I'm so excited. She's a character I've had stored away for far too long. And I have a relatively lighter schedule in March because I took a lot of time off for college and also working on this game. Mechfinder's eaten up a hell of a lot of time. I'm telling you that right now. It has been an interesting, fun bit of playtest. You can go to eldritchosirisgames.com to learn more about Mechfinder, see some really cool art. If you pre-order the book, you'll get instant access to both playtests 1 and 2. Playtest 1 going over character creation, playtest 2 going over the core enemy mechs for your GM to run. That's not all of the bestiary, by the way. That's just 20 pages of creatures. It is for both Pathfinder 2nd edition and D&D 5th edition. I hope sometime down the line we convert it into more games using the Snap system. It's a fun partnership between Eldritch Osiris Games and the Lost Caravan RPG, as I hoop with ideas almost daily at this point. I really need to step down to project manager at some point because I keep coming up with new stuff, and that means I have to write new stuff. No. No, I have too much control issues to give up actual control. Are you kidding me? So yeah, you can find me all over Eldritch Osiris Games, where I will rant and rave about Pathfinder, for it is my favorite game of all time, if you could not tell by my background. We're gonna definitely raid somebody. I think Can I Synthesis is
Canis antithesis.
that word. I have dyslexia. This has been fun. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Mechfinder. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you all around. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeehaw!